Hello and happy Monday. So unfortunately, I have some really cruddy news about my garden. The pests have arrived, not necessarily bugs, but we are talking about the deer. They have found my garden and they have made a meal of some of my plants. So I'll take you around, see the damage, and I'll tell you what I've done. So the damage starts all the way in the front garden. As you can see, hostas have become a meal. They really went to town on them. They got one of my phlox. As you can see right there, the damage. They decapitated my sunflower. They pretty much avoided the garlic, like they say they don't like them. But yeah, they basically came through and made a feast. Beautiful hydrangea popping up. So yeah, it's really disappointing. It's disheartening, but it's all part of the gardening journey. As you can see, these are victims of the deer. These are sunflowers. This is a previous victim of the deer that has come back on the side. So as you can see, this white stuff all over the ground is actually bone meal. So I've gone ahead and spread bone meal all over my front garden and all over in the back. I had some left over from last year that I used for some of my plants, but I also noticed the deer don't like it. They don't like the smell of it and they tend to stay away from it. So not only did I put bone meal down, but I need to make a trip to the store and get some blood meal as well. They should work. They have in the past. I just hadn't done it this year and I kind of paid the price for it. So I'll show you the backyard. Take you to the damage. Here we go. So they made a feast on my pepper, decapitated some tomatoes, and then even over here, they got this guy. They got this guy. And if you come over here, they got this guy and some strawberries. One last sad update was my apple tree. We're not gonna get any apples this year, long story short. I don't know if the birds got them. I don't know if there wasn't enough water. This was my last apple on the tree, and as you can see, the damage on there, it wouldn't have been good to eat if I let it keep growing. So there's always next year. We'll do some more research. As you can see, the leaves are browning on some of the area up here. I read about that it's not enough watering, so it's my bad. You see right here, we have some damage on the tree. I'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully they survive, but yeah, no apples this year either. So that's the bad news. The good news is they should all bounce back, and I've done preventative measures, and I will do some good old-fashioned soap in the garden. I'll get some blood meal, may even put some hair down. My last resort will be a fence, but a fence really won't help the front yard. It would only help back here, but we'll keep you posted on that. Now for some good news. We have some great growth on all of our plants, and the blackberries and the raspberries are coming along. We have, besides the deer damage, the strawberries and the flowers have been doing great in there. Grapes, as you can see, my rigged border was to keep the rabbits out because they kept eating them down, and it has worked. And now they also have bone meal, and I'll take that wrapping off to make it a little bit more pleasing, but it did the job. And here we have some surprise tomato plants. These grew from seed from the plants I had last year. Looks like a deer got that one, but they're growing pretty well. My goal was to get them a little bit bigger before I transplant them. And I will see if I will keep them, pull some weeds while I'm out here, or if they're gonna go somewhere else. Now, one other lesson I did learn is I had pests in the form of aphids. And I used some neem oil in the evening before it was, getting dark. And it didn't work the first time, so I used a higher concentrate the second time, and I blew it. I ended up scorching my plants. So I have learned my lesson with the neem oil. Even though I put it on in the evening like it said to. Here's a better picture of it. It ended up scorching them the next day. So my plants have a little bit more to recover from than just the deer. So there you have it. We are only at the tail end of May and we've already had deer, rabbits, and pests in the form of aphids come attack our garden front and back. So keep tuned to see if all of this bounces back. As always, thank you for watching, and I appreciate all the likes. And if you're interested in keeping up to date, definitely don't forget to subscribe. That's the life of a gardener. You have your ups, you have your downs, you deal with the issues, and you go from there. We just focus on the positive, and there's always next year. Here's another surprise tomato. So there you go. We have our good and we have our bad.